Actually, everything I've experienced over these last few months is like being in a dream or in a movie, but a very bad movie, because that movie would be very unrealistic.
It's fashionable these days to blame everything on global warming, particularly on man-made global warming. But I'm afraid the evidence doesn't point in that direction.
A little bit of warming would not be a bad thing for myself being a Canadian, and the people in Russia wouldn't mind a little couple of degrees warmer either.
All of this with the global warming and that, a lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax. I mean, it's a money-making industry, okay? It's a hoax.
The whole climate crisis, as they call it, is not only fake news, it's fake science. There is no climate crisis. There is nothing to be afraid of.
How much warming will you get if you, let us say, double the CO2 in the air? The answer is you don't get very much.
The problem is not global warming. The problem is that we keep hearing one-sided arguments.
Carbon dioxide is actually a benefit to the environment, to agriculture and forestry, and to the climate of the earth.
There are some people who are so arrogant to think that they are so powerful they can change climate. Man can't change climate.
Adults always say one thing and then do something completely different. They say that we only have one planet and we should take care of it. And yet no one gives a damn about the climate crisis. My name is Greta Thunberg and I'm 15 years old. And I school strike for the climate in front of the parliament until the election day.
Varför strejkar du? Man måste gå i skola.
Vad ska jag med en utbildning till om det inte finns någon framtid?
Jo, men om du har utbildning så kan det påverka framtiden. Det är ju det ni ska göra. Ni som är barn och unga. Det är vi som är gamla som det är för sent. Jag håller med dig att vi inte gör tillräckligt. Jag gör verkligen det. Men jag tror inte att det är rätt att strejka.
Okej.
Jag tycker det. Ja. Men hur länge ska du strejka?
Fram till valet.
Ja.
Many have heard about climate change and know vaguely what it means, with rising sea levels, increased average temperatures, and so on. But no one seems to fully understand the consequences. That we're right now living as if we had several Earths. Sometimes it feels like we who have Asperger's or autism are the only ones who see through the noise.
Hej, får jag sätta mig över dig? Ja. Först vill jag bara säga att jag tycker det är svincoolt det du håller på med. Tack. Är det många som stannat?
Idag har det varit 3.
Hur länge har du suttit här?
Sen 8 tror jag.
8.
Det är jag som har skrivit faktan och det finns källor. Läs gärna igenom baksidan också. Ja,
Läs på pappret.
Skolstart har det varit i veckan, men alla har inte valt att gå tillbaka till skolan.
Skolstrejk för klimatet är en skylt de har med sig.
Varför har du valt att sitta utanför riksdagen? För att det ska bli ett klimatval. Klimatfrågan är vår tids ödesfråga. Det vi gör nu kan inte framtida generationer ändra på. Vi når snart en tipping point som vi inte kan gå tillbaka. I am protesting about the climate crisis because it's such an important issue. What we are doing now, future generations can't change. And no one is doing anything, nothing is happening, so I must do what I can.
What did you think when you first heard her talking about the idea to start protest?
Yeah, I told her that if she would do that, I would not support it. So she made a very long list of facts that she's been handing out to people, and she knows the climate issue, I would say, better than 97% of all the politicians, probably in the world. She has almost a photographic memory when it comes to things she's interested in, so she can read books and almost remember everything that's in there.
Did you expect something like that?
I didn't expect anything. I just wanted her to be happy. And I'm very sure she didn't expect anything either. I mean, she felt she had to do something, and she had to do it completely on her own.
Okej. Trött? Är det varmt? Är det jobbigt att vara här? Va? Jag ser det. Vi sätter skuggan. Ta på dig hatten, Greta. Jag ser att du inte mår bra, okej? Vad är det som är fel? Greta, vad är det som är fel? Greta, kom. Vad är det som är fel? Ja.
I don't like making small talk with people or socializing. Sometimes I go quiet and can stay so for hours because I simply can't talk. I like to have routines, and I notice details. And once I really get interested in something, I can get laser focused on it and keep doing it for hours without getting bored. Väte, helium, litium, beryllium, bor, kol, kvävesyre, fluor, neon, natrium, magnesium, aluminium, kisel, fosfor, svavel, klor, argon, kalium, kalcium, skandium, titan, vanadin, krom, mangan, järn, kobolt, nickel, koppar, zink, gallium, germanium, arsenik. We saw a film in school. There were starving polar bears, floodings, hurricanes, and droughts. And the scientists said that we didn't have much time left to change our behavior. That was when I started getting depressed and got anxiety and stopped eating and stopped talking. I was sick. I almost starved to death. It took many years, but slowly I started to feel better. I felt that why should I give up when there were so many different things you could do to make a difference.
Valdagen här. Kan vi utläsa något av de sista opinionsmätningarna och vad har vi att se fram emot ikväll?
Det kommer bli en väldigt spännande kväll. Det är så jämnt att det kommer att ta långt in på kvällen innan vi kan...
Arnold Schwarzenegger har delat Gretas film på BBC. I love seeing someone who doesn't just complain but gets out and does something about it. You inspire me. Och så säger han så I like someone who does the action, not the talk. Jag var på ett gym en gång i Wien. Det var en sån jättestor bild på Arnold Schwarzenegger över hela väggen, så typ 10 meter lång. Han låg ju på sån tanga badbyxor. Man liksom. Så gick man där och lyfte liksom.
Han har ju över 4 miljoner följare.
4,5 va?
Okej, men jag skriver count me in och sen hasta la vista. Ding. Ding, 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 ding.
Ja, Miljöpartiet backar också.
Miljöpartiet 3,4. Men det troliga är ju att det går åt höger från det här.
Så att det är viktigt för Miljöpartiet. Men miljön som ni såg var så högt upp på valets viktigaste frågor.
Det är en katastrof för klimatet som jag ser det. Något är allvarligt fel i hur vi som väljare ser på klimatkrisen faktiskt.
Ja. Cecilia, jag tror du har fått in dina sista gäster för natten. Några som har varit kvar bakom.
Det jag kommer säga nu kommer jag säga på engelska. Och jag vill att ni alla tar fram telefoner och spelar in och sen delar. My name is Greta Thunberg and I am 15 years old. And we have school strike for the climate for 3 weeks. But we will go on with the school strike. Every Friday, as from now, we will sit outside the Swedish Parliament until Sweden is in line with the Paris Agreement. Everyone is welcome. Everyone is needed. Please join in.
Greta Thunberg, 15-åringen med flätor, nu har hennes strejk fortsatt i form av hashtaggen Fridays for Future.
Jag har träffat politiker som inte vet vad albedoeffekten är. De vet inte ens vad Keeling-kurvan är. Och det är väldigt skrämmande att politiker, eller journalister för den delen, inte har minsta lilla aning om vår tids ödesfråga.
Vem är det som ringer nu då?
Vem känner vi från Tyskland?
Ska jag ta det?
Ta det.
Hallå, Svante?
Ja, hejsan. Mitt namn är Niklas Henningsson. Jag ringer från FNs klimatsekretariat i Bonn i Tyskland.
Ja, hej. Vi sitter i bilen. Greta sitter med här, så hon hör vad du säger också.
Okej, jättebra. Vi ordnar ju den här klimatkonferensen i Katowice i Polen 84.
Ja.
Vi behöver en person som skulle kunna prata för dem, liksom leverera ett budskap för liksom, dagens unga generationer.
Ja.
Det kommer vara nästan 30 000 personer där över de här 2 veckorna. En hel resa av liksom, mer eller mindre intressanta människor. Det blir säkert jättebra det här.
Då hörs vi snart. Ja, hej. Ja. FN igen med FN. Fan. Det är asdyrt att bo där. Det är svindyrt.
Och så missar man skolan.
Ja.
Vi pratar klimatförändringar, så vet vi att om ni tänker den subtropiska, där det är väldigt också varmt som ni sa,
Det är ofta den subtropiska zonen många vill åka till och ha semester för det är solsäkert. Man tycker man har mycket sol och sådär va? Man åker dit. Är det något annat kännetecken ni kommer ihåg på subtropisk zon?
Once the climate crisis has gotten your attention, you can't look away. Once you fully understand the magnitude of the problem, then you can't erase it.
Hur var med lunchen?
Vet inte.
Vad var det på mat?
Riven morot, gurkbitar och tomatbitar.
Så du är jättetrött? Det är ingen mat alls.
I started turning off lights and pulling out cords at home. My parents got very surprised and they wondered why I did like that. Then I explained to save energy.
Ser du mig nu? Ser du mig? Ser du mig?
Mamma!
Är det mamma? Oj,
Var har vi varit? I vilken affär? Vi har varit i Disney-affären på Champs-Élysées i Paris.
My family lived a very high-consuming lifestyle. We bought lots of things. We ate meat.
Det ser så mumsigt ut.
We drove a petrol car. We flew all over the world. Mom and Dad were just like everyone else. They didn't understand how bad things were. They said that everything will be fine. There are lots of things being done. You don't need to worry. But that was exactly what made me so afraid. That people seemed to think that we were making progress.
Kan du berätta om vad du ska göra i Polen?
Ja, jag ska hålla lite tal, prata med lite människor.
Vad hoppas du att det ska hända på klimatet?
Ja, alla säger ju att, alla som jag pratar med säger att det här är vår sista chans. Om det inte händer något där så är det för sent, men så man får ju hoppas att det händer någonting.
Jag kan inte backa hela vägen och köra runt. Okej, kom nu.
Vad är det?
Ingenting, det är bara fruktansvärt stress. Okej? Tänk nu vad vi ska handla i Malmö, okej? För vi har 25 burkar ekologiska vita bönor. 25. Och så har vi 5 paket så här bönpasta. Så kan vi leva på pasta och liksom bönor. Och så, nej jävlar!
Va?
Skit och röv.
Hallå, är det okej?
Allt är toppen. Du är snabb fråga. Våffeljärnet, la du ner det?
Ja.
I svarta väskan?
Det ligger i stora svarta väskan, ja.
Bra. Och våffelbunken som vi har våfflor i?
Det ligger där också och det besticken ligger i där.
Skitbra. Vi glömde var margarinet, men det köper vi i Malmö ändå.
Ja, det går ju att köpa överallt. Bra. Så nu lever i alla fall.
Ja, det här är toppen. Hej då.
Ja, hej.
Då har vi något. Här är det så fysiskt. Fan, där.
Jag har inte bråttom, bilen laddas.
Jag vet. Kolla vad som finns i den här redan då.
Ja, det var lite där.
Det finns mer pasta där.
Ja.
Är det salttonen som är längst bak?
Ja. Så har vi den längst fram. For many years, people, especially children, were very unkind or mean to me. I didn't get invited to parties or celebrations. I was always left out. So I spent most of my time being with my family and my dogs.
Time is against us as UN climate talks begin in Poland and is being attended by around 40 heads of state and government.
The ambition for the coming days is to try to put flesh on the bones of the Paris Agreement. That was the deal agreed 3 years ago, which countries said they would cut their greenhouse gases.
Basically, the time is very, very short to make major changes. Emissions have to essentially halve over the next 12 years. Otherwise, the impacts could be catastrophic for the entire world.
Allt som var veganskt var ris eller bulgur. Att de ens serverar kött och mejeriprodukter på en sån här tillställning.
Nu käkar vi. Greta, kom nu.
Ja, alla hamburgarna var slut.
Jag har ju arbetat på FN 22 år och att träffa generalsekreteraren det är oerhört svårt för han drar sig så många riktningar hela tiden så det är närmast ren tur om du inte har ställt till med en global världskris så träffar du honom inte eller då om du har lite tur.
The responsibility is yours, but since all of our leaders are behaving like children, the children will have to take responsibility. And so we will take responsibility for their actions. Något sånt. They have ignored us in the past and they will ignore us this time.
Ja, det är stenhårt.
Det är sant.
Ja, men kör. Mass extinction är det som skulle kunna strykas då.
Nej.
Men jag tycker inte att jag tycker att allt...
Mass extinction är jätteviktigt.
Men du är bara...
Tyst.
Okej, det går så bra. Du blir här. Den var väl trevlig?
Din klänning.
Ja, men den är väl trevlig. Mjuk och skön har ovanpå allting. Men bara någonting som signalerar att det inte är vardag.
Den här skulle man kunna ha.
Ja, då tar du den. Den är jättefin. Den toppen.
Det är en sån här.
Jättebra. Ta den. Greta, det du ska göra nu fylla på vatten.
Ska jag prova den andra skjortan?
Nej, jag tycker du ska ha den där. Men Greta, kom igen nu. Kör nu. Strunt i kläderna spelar ingen roll. Okay?
Jag vet vad det är skönt.
Va?
question towards the summit. Just one question. This is a meeting that cannot fail. Thank you, sir.
Så ta det lugnt, Greta. Andas lugnt. Prata som vanligt, precis som alltid gör. Hela tiden lite för långt. Lyssna, jag gör det. Hela tiden lite för långt.
Ska man tycka detta? Are you nervous? Don't be. No.
Greta, before we start the station, let's take our seat.
So nice to meet you. It's lovely. There is an...
Adriana, join us.
I can join you.
Join.
I'm photo bonding is 50 minutes.
She has to be ready. Okay, please.
Hi, Saffron. How are you?
I have to remind all of us that we have very little time. Please wait and you have the floor.
For 25 years, countless of people have stood in front of the United Nations climate conferences, asking our nation's leaders to stop the emissions. But clearly, this has not worked since the emissions just continue to rise. So I will not ask them anything. Instead, I will ask the people around the world to realize that our political leaders have failed us. Because we are facing an existential threat, and there is no time to continue down this road of madness. We have come here to let them know that change is coming, whether they like it or not. The people will rise to the challenge. And since our leaders are behaving like children, we will have to take the responsibility they should have taken long ago. Thank you.
Maybe thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
I would like to give the floor to Miss Greta Thunberg. Miss Thunberg, you have the floor.
My name is Greta Thunberg. I am 15 years old and I'm from Sweden. You only speak of green, eternal economic growth because you are too scared of being unpopular. You only talk about moving forward with the same bad ideas that got us into this mess. But I don't care about being popular. I care about climate justice and a living planet. Thank you.
Är du trött nu?
Ja, det är fortfarande så lite adrenalin.
Ja, jag vet. Det är hundarna. Det är Moses rock som alltid längtar till.
You're very young and you're 15 years old. Is climate change an issue that even children like yourself should be concerned about? How can you spread awareness among children?
Yes, of course, climate change affects mostly children.
Sorry. Now it's Deutsche Welle and Reuters. The Deutsche Welle, wait, and sorry.
I have stopped flying, stopped eating meat and dairy, stopped buying new things, and yeah, so just small changes.
Jag ser att hon mår bra, hon skrattar och tycker att det är kul, vilket är fantastiskt. Det kan man inte veta innan. Jag visste inte hur hon skulle reagera. Hon har ju haft, det heter selektiv mutism. Hon blev ju väldigt sjuk och deprimerad för några år sedan, var hemma från skolan ett år. Hon pratade inte med någon annan än mig och min fru och lilla syster på kanske 3 års tid.
May I get a selfie? I have a 16-year-old daughter in America who's actually in Canada now. We live in Canada. And anyway, she's quite the activist too. But anyway, proud of her.
Det är som en film.
Jag vet.
Att det plötsligt var på massa paparazzi.
Det är helt sjukt.
Snart kommer det vara över också. Det är liksom så här kort period.
Jag vet. Och sen så kommer det komma en sån här måndag och så kommer det inte finnas någon som ens känner igen det överhuvudtaget.
Ja.
Det är liksom fördelen.
Ja.
Ingen människa kommer veta vem det är.
Det är skönt.
Ekman. Det är Moses. Nej, nu springer de till dörren. Nej. Moses. Säg så här, Greta igen.
Tjena, kandisar.
Såg du talen förresten?
Vad sa du?
Har du sett Gretas tal?
Ja.
Visst är det coolt?
Ja, jag grät. Jag vet, jag blir så känslomässig.
Ja. Vad gör du? Du har fastnat.
Det var en väldigt rolig bild.
Malena, du har fastnat. Hallå. Hallå. Gotta get more.
15-year-old environmental activist from Sweden is scolding world leaders on what she says is their failure to address climate change.
So her name is Greta Thunberg. She comes up on stage not particularly dressed in any special way, and she speaks and her words are devastating.
I can't just sit there and watch her do all this for the environment and do nothing.
We stand with you, and on a Friday, I will stand next to you. Stay strong. We are the children here speaking up, and our future is being destroyed by the minute.
Thousands of people in Brisbane and thousands more across the country have taken to the streets with passion and posters.
They say they're taking back the streets to send a message that the climate crisis is real. They will not rest until bold action is taken to address it.
This is all for her, you know, for the movement, for the climate. She started this and I just wanted to help her a little bit.
This is a real movement that's growing, and it's growing every week, and these students are backing down. They plan to keep striking until they get a
My lords, I do not accept that taking time off school in the middle of term is useful for children.
Kids should go to schools and less activism in schools.
If it were about science, it would be led by scientists rather than by politicians and a mentally ill Swedish child who is being exploited by her parents and by the international left.
If you listen to the speeches that our politicians give us, it seems like they've never even heard of a climate crisis because they're not treating it like a crisis.
Oj, gud, det tar aldrig slut. De klassar över avspärrningarna. Bryssel är 30 000 i Bryssel. 50 000 i hela Belgien. Paris, Valencia.
Valencia?
Lille, Lyon, Nantes, Marseille.
Lille?
Lille, Lyon, Nantes, Marseille.
Otroligt.
It's so nice to meet you, Greta.
You too.
Yeah. So we've done some strikes here in Belgium.
Yeah, I
with
know.
you as our big inspiration, and we hit 35,000 last week.
Yeah, I know, that's amazing. I saw pictures and it was just crowds full of people, and it was amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing, and everybody has plates that says Greta for President, and everybody's shouting your name. You're a real hero here. So for us, it would be really, really nice to get to know you.
Yeah, you too.
It feels almost undescribable that something is finally happening. That there are many who care about the same things as I do.
Och sen samma dag, 22:01 till 21. 22. Helvete, 31. 22:01.
It feels like I'll just wake up one day and find out that this wasn't for real.
Har de varit ute? Vad sa du? Har de varit ute? Ja, 3 gånger har de varit ute. Hej Roxy!
Roxy! Jag bäddar i ditt lakan här, det verkar inte ha gjort.
Det behöver du inte göra.
Va?
Jag behöver väl inte lakan?
Det är klart du ska laka.
Jag kan sova utan lakan.
Jo, det kan väl alla människor. Det är fysiskt fullt möjligt. Det är ganska mycket skönare att ha. some tea, some...
No, I have water. Hey, Greta.
Hi, I'm Kira.
Yes.
I'm Adelaide. Nice to meet you.
All right.
I am Amina.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Vishasika. Thank you so much for coming.
Like, honestly, we would have never started this if you wouldn't have. And I would have never had the courage you showed.
It's not that I should take the focus, because that's what's so good about this movement, that everyone is equally contributing.
No, it's right. But everybody's doing great jobs locally in every country. But you're like that girl that started it all, you know?
I think we needed this kind of story that you told, like a story of that everyone can make a difference and that we as like young people can change something, and we needed the story to tell to other people, and they saw it, so it's really nice.
Together we can make a difference. There has now been strikes on every continent except Antarctica. But I think that is amazing that it's not just in Western Europe, it's everywhere.
Climate justice! What do you want it now? What do you want? Climate justice! What do you want it now? What do you want?
I'm impressed by the political oomph that this movement seems to have got. Climate change has never been on the headlines like this for as long as I can remember.
It's really making people understand that this needs to be tackled now. It is the most pressing critical issue of our time.
Society is like an amoeba. It moves from the margins, not from the centre. If the young people can sustain this actually could change the world.
Are you ready to meet Greta?
This is incredible. For way too long, the people in power have gotten away with not caring about the climate crisis. But we will make sure they will not do that anymore. We will be a pain in the arse. We will keep on striking until they do something. Everybody raise your hands.
Do you have already met other presidents or
No.
other prime ministers?
No, actually, no.
Not in Sweden?
No.
No. It's the first time.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. You?
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. It's an honor to meet you. Thank you for inviting me.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Very happy to have you here. What I want to discuss with you is how you see the situation and on which topic you want us to focus, and where are your main concerns and expectations.
I think that we are in a time now where more and more people are becoming aware of what is going on, and I think we have reached a tipping point that people will demand things and will realize where we are at. And I think that you have a great opportunity to take that chance and to act and to become a figure of this. And also I think it's very important that we, in the rich countries, we need to lead and to act more, obviously, because the people in poorer countries need to have a chance to heighten their standard of living. So you are in a rush, so you should probably get going.
But thank you very much. Thank you. How do you manage everything for school and so on?
My school is actually very helpful. They support me and I do homework. at home and I catch up with school. I work hard, so... Yeah.
Wow. And you travel a lot?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
By train?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. And you read a lot on climate?
Yeah, I do, yeah, a lot. I'm a nerd.
My name is Greta Thunberg. I'm a climate activist from Sweden. People always tell us that they are so hopeful. They are hopeful that the young people are going to save the world. But we are not. There is simply not enough time to wait for us to grow up and become the ones in charge. Because by the year 2020, we need to have bended the emissions curve steep downwards. That is next year. We have started to clean up your mess, and we will not stop until we are done. Thank you.
And now I have the pleasure and the privilege of giving the floor to Jean-Claude Juncker.
Monsieur le Président, dear Luca, dear Karl-Heinz, dear Greta, es ist heute so, dass ich dabei mich von
on what's happening here today. I change things while trying to regulate smaller things. Now, in terms of flushes, they said that we need to harmonize all flushes across all toilets in Europe. Well, it could be useful because we would save a very large amount of energy. But
de la guerre de l'Irak au moment des comportements russes inacceptables dans la plus grande région, me mettre devant la presse et dire voilà, grande idée, on va régler, harmoniser.
I honestly don't understand why I even get invited. It feels like all they want is to be spotlighted, to make it look like they care, as if they were doing something. They know what to say, they know what sells, but in fact, they're doing basically nothing. If the solution to the climate crisis was about changing tea bags for loose-leaf tea and eating vegetarian once a week, then it wouldn't be a crisis. Then we wouldn't even have a problem.
I mean, have you heard any politicians seem to understand the urgency? Today, President Juncker's speech did not seem to respond to exactly to what, you know, you laid out even science facts, and he didn't even respond to those things.
No, I mean, most people like that I talk to don't really respond. They don't come with any concrete promises, but they only say that we are trying, but that's not enough.
So hot, millions of people will lose their homes, and more than 10% of the world's insects, plants, and animals will die.
High temperatures. Japan is experiencing a record-breaking heat wave, which officials say contributed to the death of 65 people last week.
The impact on sensitive ecosystems and the Arctic will shift from high to very high risk.
63 fires are burning in 13 states, and with dangerous heat coming, the situation will only get worse.
Now is the time to stop this. We don't have another decade to wait.
Är det lagom mycket? Var du saltet? Var du saltet?
one question for you. How does it feel?
I don't know, it's very overwhelming.
Yeah, because they're here for you.
No.
It's all because you started it.
No, they're here for themselves and for everyone.
I think they love you too much.
Access to university, and we protest against that. Are you not hungry?
I don't care.
You don't care?
No.
You want to go elsewhere?
No, I will just sit here and not eat.
Okay.
Men du måste ju äta mat. Du får vänta på dig då. Du får äta några bananer så länge. Du förstår att du måste äta mat. Du förstår att du måste äta mat. Kom nu, du säger jag ifrån. Då får de komma, då får de vänta på oss, okej? Nu går vi och äter mat, så är det bara. Punkt slut, kom nu. Så snälla bara ät någonting nu.
De väntar på
oss. Greta, jag skiter i om de väntar. Då får du gå i förväg så åker vi sen, okej? Okej? Du måste äta mat, så är det bara. Okej, Greta, nu är den här punkten igen. Kom ihåg den här punkten där man måste välja vad man ska göra. Okej? Jag förstår att det är piss.
Men alla suckar och är trötta på mig nu.
Det är de inte alls det. Sluta. Greta, nu äter du något. Be dem gå i förväg så kommer vi sen, okej? Okej? Du måste äta, Greta. Så är det bara.
Och klockan.
Ingen aning, men jag skiter i vad
Titta
klockan.
på klockan.
Ja, okej. Klockan är 12 och någonting. 12:44.
Gas station är med bindstreck emellan.
Tror du? Men det spelar ingen roll eftersom du bara läser det.
Men rätt ska vara rätt.
Greta?
Ja.
Snälla, men du behöver inte ändra det för det är redan klart. Du har redan gjort det.
Vara så.
Du har redan gjort det, snälla.
Nej.
Släpp det nu, snälla släpp det nu.
Nej, det kan vara grammatiskt fel.
Men det spelar väl ingen roll?
Ja, men det här är rätt, jag vet. Men de här vet jag inte.
Nej, men vet du vad?
Jag tror det med.
Men vi kan kolla det på vägen.
Nej.
Vi kan kolla det med någon annan. För nu är vi redan sena, okej?
Men det är olika översättningar på alla hemsidor.
Jag vet. Du behöver inte fastna i de detaljerna, okej? Det spelar ingen som helst roll.
Jo.
Det spelar ingen roll.
Sluta.
Snälla. Det spelar... Du behöver inte säga någonting på franska. Strunta i det helt. Okej? Men bara... Okej, jag väntar där nere, all right? Jag väntar där nere.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Greta Thunberg, j'ai 15 ans et je viens de Stockholm. Today, we use 100 million barrels of oil every day. There are no politics to change that. There are no rules to keep that oil in the ground. But if being carbon neutral does not include transportations, shopping, food, aviation, and shipping, then it doesn't really mean that much. Some would say we are wasting lesson time. We say we are changing the world, so that when we are older, we will be able to look back and say that we did everything we could, and we will continue to do so. We will continue to fight for our future and for the living planet. We need to start treating the crisis as a crisis, and we also need to communicate in a way that we connect all these environmental disasters, like everything from acidification of the oceans, deforestation, the fact that we are in the mass extinction right now, and we need to make sure that people can connect these dots.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Connecting the dots, it's a very good point.
Hi, Chris. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You too.
Look, I wish you well and continue to campaign. You just do what you believe is right.
Wait, can I have a selfie? So is that okay? There you go. 1, 2, 3.
Everyone says it's so lovely that you're here and we promise to improve, but they never do. When I'm in these fancy environments, all these palaces or castles or whatever it is, I feel very uncomfortable. It feels like everyone is in this role-playing game and just pretending. It feels kind of fake. Sometimes it feels like it doesn't even matter how many of us go on strike. What matters is that the emissions have to be reduced, and it has to start now.
Påven vi träffade, de sa hela katolska världen står bakom Greta Thunberg.
Esta es Greta, la Greta famosa. Atención, continue to walk, eh? Continue, eh? Buona,
Det ser jättekonstigt ut på den bilden. Där får man hela...
Åh gud.
Hon är en grundlurad 16-årig person med Asperger. En person som har diagnosen Asperger fokuserar och intresserar sig oftast på ett ämne. Greta intresserar sig utav klimatet och har blivit riktigt lurad av alla lögner som samhället matar henne. Men medias Asperger gullegris är inkapabel till att ens nämna ett exempel på vad som behöver göras. Det känns lite snett att hylla henne som en klimathjälte när hon inte ens under intervju kan nämna ett exempel och använder "det är så mycket som behöver göras" som bortförklaring. Löjligt. Mamma skriver manus, gråta lite, det ger effekt. Men vad fan, Grete. Hon löser detta med att vara PR-kåt. Ingen bryr sig om henne. Greta.
Господин президент, а что вы думаете о Грете Тунберг?
Я, может быть, вас разочарую, но я не разделяю общих восторгов по поводу выступления Греты Тунберг. Ведь никто Грете не объяснил, что современный мир сложен, многообразен, быстро развивается. И люди в Африке, либо во многих азиатских странах хотят жить на таком же уровне достатка, как и в Швеции.
Let's be honest, a lot of people find it very annoying. And they find her very hyperbolic and very hysterical and very over-emotional.
Greta, you know Greta?
Greta. A Greta já falou que os índios, né, morreram porque está defendendo a Amazônia. Pô. É impressionante, a imprensa dá espaço para uma pirralha dessa aí, uma pirralha.
She's not the Messiah. She's just a depressed and extremely anxious girl, and a very unhappy one. Asperger's is very rarely an advantage in this case. It's actually a weakness.
She's a kid. She talks nonsense and she tells the climate alarmists exactly what they want to hear. You're selfish, badly educated, virtue-signaling little turds. Wake up, grow up, and shut up until you're sure of the facts before protesting.
Hej.
Hej.
Hej, Jakob.
Hej. Alice. Sant, ja. Vi ser ju att det här problemet kommer bara att växa. Tyvärr. Förhoppningsvis gör det inte det. Men det är inte... Ska man vara realist så kommer det bara att växa.
Livshotande läge då, man börjar med det. Vad innebär det för någonting? Om vi nu tänker så här att om vi har en skadad person som ligger här inne, sen brinner det i det här rummet.
Ja.
Kan vi sätta oss ner och börja vårda den personen då?
Nej.
Vi måste ju ut med den, va? Vi har en livshotande situation. Samma sak om vi säger ni är ute och blir utsatta för stenkastning eller vad som helst och du har fått en sten i huvudet och är medvetslös. Då kanske det handlar om att få han från platsen så att ni inte alla ska få stenar på er. Det första jag gör, det är bara in med fingrarna och tryck. Du känner jag hela tiden tryck, va? Är det ett jättelitet hål, då måste vi bara mata in och trycka ner ännu mer liksom. För då kan vi inte få ner fingrarna. Så fortsätter vi med 30 kompressioner och 2 inblåsningar.
Vad var syftet med den där då?
Den ger en elstöt i hjärtat för att försöka starta hjärtat som är still. Men det är långt ifrån alla gånger man får ge den där elstöten. Många gånger säger den bara fortsätt med hjärt-lungräddning.
My parents, I can tell that they're very worried and scared. We've received several letters home that contain death threats. They're saying that I should avoid going out. But I'm honestly not that scared. Because I'm more worried what would happen if I didn't do this.
You're okay with everything that's happening?
Yeah. But I can't really plan my future. Like, I want to study that, and then I want to work there, and I want to get married. I can't do that. I can't even plan what I want to do this weekend, because then someone calls and says, oh, we have an emergency meeting here, then I need to go there. I mean, we don't want to, like, burn out. If you understand, like, you don't have any energy left to do something that you have used up your...
Yeah, I know what you mean. I totally know what you mean. That's totally true. I think you should especially be really careful for that.
Yeah, we all should. We just have to continue saying the same thing over and over again until people get it.
Yeah.
Because if, yeah.
Then we do that. So the whole area, it was forest. It was this ancient thousands of years old forest, and 90% of them is lost to the coal mine. And there on the horizon
is the remaining 10%.
Yeah, and this is, well, our Hambacher forest.
It is very important because this is such an important place, such a symbolic place. The Hambach forest is very threatened, and I just felt like I wanted to come here to visit that, and also to gain media attention on it, so that the media would focus on it. Humanity sees nature as this giant bag of candy that we can just take as much as we want. So one day, nature will probably strike back in some way. I don't know exactly how, but there's everything from heat waves to diseases or water shortages, which might become problems in the future. And in that context, we're kind of small.
The Amazon basin is burning at a record rate. More than 72,000 fires have scorched the country this year, an over 80% increase compared to the same period in 2018. Flames destroying 1.5 football fields of rainforest every minute, smoke spreading across nearly half of Brazil, visible from space more than a week ago. Often called the lungs of the earth, the rainforest supplies 20% of the world's oxygen. If it burns to a point of no return, it could turn into a dry savanna, plunging the planet ever deeper into a climate change crisis.
I'm a member of the parliament, and I have a report I would like to thank you.
Maybe a smile for the cameras. Thank you very much.
My name is Greta Thunberg. I come from Sweden, and I want you to panic. I want you to act as if the house was on fire. I have said those words before, and a lot of people has explained why that is a bad idea. And it's okay if you refuse to listen to me. I am, after all, just a 16-year-old schoolgirl from Sweden. But you cannot ignore the science. We are in the midst of the 6th mass extinction. Erosion of fertile topsoil. Deforestation of our great forests. Toxic air pollution. Loss of insects and wildlife. The acidification of our oceans. These are all disastrous trends being accelerated by a way of life that we, here in our financially fortunate part of the world, see as our right to simply carry on.
Then you went to the Strasbourg Parliament, and I saw you during your speech crying. What made you cry?
I talked about animals going extinct and erosion, deforestation, acidification, and things like that, which is, I mean, it's hard to take in, and I talk about that all the time, and once, I mean, I have to get emotional once it's only reasonable.
You suffer of Asperger syndrome. Is it true? Is this right?
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't say suffer from, but I have it.
You have it? Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, Greta, in Italy we have talked a lot about you, and some people describe you like a radical baby, you know, that can't do anything. It's just...
Sometimes when they just sit and talk, I wonder to myself, what would happen if I just stood up and screamed here? It feels like I'm speaking a completely different language, or as if the microphone isn't really on.
All colleagues across the House to welcome Greta Thunberg, who's with us today, an enthusiastic and dedicated environmental campaigner.
Is the microphone on? Is the microphone really on? Is my English okay? Because I'm beginning to wonder. You lied to us. You gave us false hope. You told us that the future was something to look forward to. During the last 6 months, I've traveled around Europe for hundreds of hours in trains, electric cars and buses, repeating these life-changing words over and over again. But no one seems to be talking about it. And nothing has changed. Despite all the beautiful words and promises, the emissions are still rising. We have not taken to the streets for you to take selfies with us and tell us that you really admire what we do. We children are doing this for you to put your differences aside and start acting as you would in a crisis. We children are doing this because we want our hopes and dreams back. I hope my microphone was on. I hope you could all hear me. Thank you. To attend the United Nations Climate Summit in New York. And since time is running out, I have decided to go there. And since I don't fly because of the enormous climate impact of aviation, it's going to be a challenge.
Kommer det som kanske är mest spännande i betygen för niorna. Slutbetygen. Har man 300 poäng eller mer, då har man höga betyg. Därför kommer vi göra så att alla i årskurs 9 som har 300 poäng eller mer kommer att få komma fram och ställa sig här fram. Så på lite snabba fötter nu vill jag fram här framför scen ha Isabella Josef, Valkyria, Gabriella, Greta, Tolga och Isabella Riscalla. Välkomna fram!
Tack så mycket.
Lämnar vi er för en liten
Har du ett föl i magen?
Allt tvång, allt sånt där är borta. Bara helt... Som trolleri. Så det är bara det man bryr sig om. Allt annat är bara bonus. Det är bara, hon mår bra. Hon har blivit inbjuden att prata i FN i New York. Så då ska vi åka dit. Men eftersom hon inte flyger måste vi segla. Det är ett helvete. Det är långt och det är svårt och det är farligt. Det kan ta flera veckor, säger de.
Greta, it's good what you're doing.
Hi.
Good to see you. Good to meet you. Thanks, first of all, for your kind of interest in our suggestion to sail over together. It's maybe a bit a crazy idea, but I really like it. And please ask me any question you want on the boat. I show you around with the camera. So this, for example, is a bunk bed, a carbon fiber tube with just a cloth on it and a rope where I can pull. Yeah, it is a race boat for a small crew to be efficient. I show you the kitchen as well. This is the kitchen.
Aha. Mm-hmm.
And we heat water here. And then this area here we spend most of our time.
Alla droppar ska med.
Jag kan ta hålla på den här. Typ. Så. Nu är jag ganska tålmodig, men när du var mindre och skulle baka, du var ju så extremt noga med att det skulle bli rätt. Så jag har lärt mig det i alla fall. Att jag måste göra exakt som det står i receptet. Vilket är bra, för det är då det blir bra. Bara det att du sitter bland folk och äter, det är ju helt fantastiskt. Det är ju... För några år sedan hade vi inte kunnat drömma om det. Det är liksom som en dröm. Otroligt att det gått så bra. Du bara skrattar åt mig.
Okej, det ramlar ner här. Ska vi bara låta det vara så?
Ja, vi kan skölja av så här. Vi kommer ju byta.
Okej, ska det vara så ska vi ge oss.
Det är jättefint. Men gjord med kärlek. Det är inte vacker. Nej. Tejp. Jag får ta tejpen.
Vad kommer du sakna mest? Jag tror hundarna. Hundarna? Ja. För familj kan man ändå prata med på telefon och sånt. Men det kan man inte göra med hundar. Jag får träffa hundar där jag är helt enkelt. Det är inte samma hundar? Nej.
Paradise, but there you go again, saying everything ends, saying you can't depend on anything or anyone. If the end of the world was near, where would you choose to be? If there was 5 more minutes of air, would you panic and hide, or run for your life, or stand here and spend it with me? If we had 5 more minutes, could I make it happy?
I don't want to be a person who says one thing and then does something else. I don't want to be the kind of person who says, "This is so important," and then the next second flies across the world because it's easier that way.
Many people would say this is crazy. Just take a flight.
Yeah.
Why do you not want to do that?
Because by taking a boat, it shows that it's basically impossible to live sustainable today.
Would you panic and hide, or run for your life, or stand here and spend it with me? If we had 5 more minutes, could I make it happy?
She faces a really, really tough journey. I mean, it's an incredible boat. It's fantastically exciting to sail. It's basically a huge sail attached to this super light hull. It kind of leaps in the wind, really muscular, jumps forward. But what that means is that it crashes against the waves. And essentially, it's a giant drum. It bangs against the waves as the swell gets high.
Here's a button. There's only one button, so you will remember that. And this sends your GPS position, because the GPS sends it to a satellite. So this is kind of the worst case scenario thing that transmits for probably 24 hours your position. So the problem, why is it dangerous to fall in the water? It's because it can get very cold. The other thing is to find you is difficult.
Yeah.
And to finding you, this is one thing to have.
Greta, lots of love. Yeah, you too.
Can you take your started video of this?
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You too.
The whole world thinks you're wonderful. You're a brave girl.
Det tog ganska många timmar innan vi slutade se land. Och det var därmed mycket sjöfåglar också, såklart. Det här får på något sätt ersätta dagbok, för jag kommer inte kunna skriva så mycket, för när jag skriver så mår man illa. Ja, det var väl allt för idag. Något du vill tillägga?
Nej, jag tycker du har sagt allt. Nu är det fruktstund.
Nej, jag måste stå. Vet du vad toapappret finns?
Vad säger du?
Vet du vad toapappret finns?
Va?
Vet du vad toapappret finns? Det man ska göra nu är att bara tänka på nuet. Man får inte tänka på liksom framtiden och liksom att jag bara åkt liksom kanske 26 timmar av, jag vet inte hur många timmar. Man får liksom ta en dag i taget.
Ja.
And then here the wind is from behind and light. So here's the high pressure. This will be quite bumpy. And after that, the wind is strong from behind. It's also not. It only starts to blow stronger. 5 in the morning, tomorrow morning. It will be a bit challenging, but nothing dramatic really. Vad säger du?
Telefon. Min mamma och Beata. Jag längtar hem. Jag längtar efter att få ha en vardag med rutiner. Hundarna. Tydligen hade Roxy ätit upp deras middag igår. De hade glömt den på bordet och så hade hon hoppat upp och ätit upp den när de inte såg. Och hon behöver gå ner i vikt. Hon är på din diet. Så... Men det blir bra ändå. Det kommer in en massa vatten här. Ansvar. Jag vill inte behöva göra allt det här. Det är för mycket för mig. Dygnet runt. Jag vet hur viktigt det är och vad som står på spel. Men det är så mycket ansvar. Hej då.
Greta. Greta. Vad ser land nu?
humans are social animals, and in a herd, everyone has different roles. We are dependent on each other to survive. If you see a threat, it's your responsibility to sound the alarm. And I feel like this is my responsibility in a way.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2019 Climate Action Summit. If I may ask you to please take your seats. Greta, your first climate strike was a lonely event a little over a year ago, demanding action for climate change. What's your message to world leaders today?
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering, people are dying, entire ecosystems are collapsing, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you? For more than 30 years, the science has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you're doing enough when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight? You are failing us, but the young people are starting to understand your betrayal. The eyes of all future generations are upon you. And if you choose to fail us, I say we will never forgive you. The world is waking up, and change is coming whether you like it or not. Crises in time instead of waiting, the problems won't get as big. Because if you do that, you come out on the other side. And there it's better.
I don't see the world in black and white. It's just the climate issue I see in black and white. Sometimes I feel like it would be good if everyone had a bit more Asperger's. At least when it comes to the climate.
Allein 2018 gab es mehr als 200 dokumentierte Morde an Umweltaktivistinnen. Das heißt, letztes Jahr allein wurden durchschnittlich 4 Umweltaktivistinnen pro Woche ermordet.
We have contaminated the earth and spoiled the water. We have polluted